I am Eula. I am nobody's bitch.
You are mine.
Too much energon.
Too much energon, like this podcast.
The beasts are here, McLeod, for the gathering.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings, Megatron.
Then they better stay out of my way. Blah, 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 blah. Beast Wars once and for all.
Big time Gary himself.
Man, these things look like toys.
Maximal! Maximal! Does that mean transform?
Cheetor, what have you done? I am transformed.
Sigma balls, Gary. No, no, that. Ah!
Good evening, listeners, and welcome to episode 115 of Too Much Energon, the podcast where we talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars, coming to you live from a mysterious floating mountain somewhere hidden on planet Energon. I am the Siege, one of your hosts.
And live on the scene, underneath the floating island, waiting for it to crash down, is your other host, NeoCal.
Crash down on top of you?
Well, it's like one of those things where you're watching it and it's like going off in a direction, and then the newscaster is like, "Oh shit, I gotta get out of here." No, anything for the shot.
We have to go now. No, I'm covering a story here. We have to go now. It's now or never.
There's a trope for you.
Yep.
The news anchor who has literal like lava coming towards him. It's like, no, we got to get the scoop.
Pompeii, here I come.
What? It can't explode twice.
Anyway, as I mentioned, this is episode 115 of Too Much Energon, and we're traveling back in time yet again to ye old 2001 to talk about issue 7 of the 2021 IDW's Beast Wars comic. As before, this is an old recording from a defunct Patreon-only podcast, Too Much Galabar.
Yeah, we're coming from the future, but from the past, because today's 2001 day.
Right. And if you want to know what that was in reference to, we just recorded a commentary track for Patreon for the 2001 Jet Li film, The One.
That's right.
If you want to hear
the
that.
hit sensation, The One.
If you want to hear our thoughts on that dope movie.
Starring such hit actors as Jet Li, Jason Statham, and
Arla Gugino, and our man himself, Delroy Lindo.
Yes, Delroy Lindo.
I mentioned on the commentary for that now that I know that guy's name, like, because his name is so odd, like, I'm never gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo. It's burned into my
Plays
brain.
a cop in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so go check that out at patreon.com/lasercomb. And yeah, well, without further ado, here is I think still audio only. Eventually these switch to video, but here is audio of us from the year of our Lord 2001, talking about issue 7 of the Beast Wars comic.
Too much energon.
So, first thing to note right off the bat is mercifully, there's a new artist this issue.
Mercifully.
Yeah, the art in this issue is done by Winston Chan, and holy bejesus, is it a marked improvement. Holy shit.
They're still different than like the show Beast Wars, but like better. I would say, like, it's still stylistic, but I dig it.
Yeah, I like how Optimus, like,
It's furry.
actually, yeah, he's furry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he should be.
yeah, he should be.
And Dinobot's, man, he does not skip upper body days. He's fucking huge.
Yeah,
Looks
he
great.
jacked. Yeah, so the issue opens with Dinobot and Gary Primal sparring back and forth, and they're like, We see a lot of this in this comic book. I've noticed, like, people like Optimus sparring with people and chit chatting.
Yeah.
It's like it's the only way he knows how to communicate.
Yeah. Does it with Rhinox a lot.
Yeah. So Optimus like basically asks him like if he like how's he integrating with the crew, like how's he getting along with people, and Dinobot's like, no, I'm trying my best to limit interactions as much as I can.
Yeah, that being said, like that little shit rat trap has been bold enough to threaten me multiple times. So I guess that's progress. I mean, he must know that I can like absolutely destroy him in combat, though.
And Optimus is like, huh, you sure? Or are you just talking big?
Oh, right, because he's shit talking him during sparring.
Yeah. And Dinobot, like, this is actually pretty cool. Like, Dinobot, like, immediately goes to beast mode and, like, fucking, like, raptor lunges at Optimus.
Yeah.
And grabs, puts his, grabs Optimus's, like, bow staff with his mouth.
Velociraptor mouth.
Yeah.
And indeed, Optimus transforms while holding the baton, the spar baton, and like monkey kicks him off of him.
Yeah.
And he's like, good, more like that. I was starting to think the fight had been beaten out of you.
Yeah, and Optimus, like, straight up just fucking punches him in the face.
Yeah. Kapow.
Yeah, and Optimus is like, yeah, that was fun. We should do it again sometime. Yada yada.
Yeah. He's it illustrates that Dinobot's still injured.
Yeah, and they go back to the CR chamber, and which is very different looking in this comic than it was in the show.
Right.
Here it kind of looks like, what are they called in Star Wars? Or like Bacta tanks or something like that. I don't know.
Personal diagnostics and it's kind of like a beam of light.
It reminds me of like a decompression chamber for like divers who have like surfaced too quickly.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I like their little back and forth. Like Optimus tries to make a joke, and what does Optimus say? He's like, not a lot of humor in the Predacon ranks. Dinobot's like, there was some. I don't feel too nostalgic for it though. After they tried to kill me.
Yeah. And Optimus mentions that the shields have been modified to protect Dinobot now
as
too.
well. Yeah.
As well.
So he can go in and out, and the Maximals can, but no Preds.
Yeah.
And indeed, we go to the Predacon base. Somebody's hacking the golden disc. That somebody is Megatron.
Another one of the golden disc secrets is mine. Computer, display file.
And he's got his rubber ducky with him, which is canon.
Yeah.
I just caught that.
Yeah. I didn't notice that the first time around.
And he's holding it with his like T-Rex hand.
Yeah.
I dig it. And he seems to find a 90s VHS like recording of OG Megatron. Is that who it is?
No, it's Beast Wars Megatron.
Wait, it's
it's like a video file of himself.
Oh, what the I just assumed when I was skimming through this that it was OG Megatron.
Will doom us all, but the transwarp drive can't click. Remember to, and it gets cut off.
He is on the golden disc. That's different.
It is different. Maybe, and he mentions the transwarp drive, so maybe maybe this is how he gets the idea. I assume eventually they're going to deal with the whole like Planet Buster thing in this comic because it's such a
Right.
huge plot point in the show. Like this comic has been deviating a lot from the show, but like it's still hitting a lot of this same like major story beats.
Yeah,
It's just
have,
going
have
about
we confirmed there's 2 moons?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the first
There
issue
must
we
be,
saw-
right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure in the first there was in the second issue, maybe second issue.
There
One of the
was,
early
yeah.
issues, yeah. I'm not going to go back and check. No.
No.
So let's just say there were. Yes.
We get a cool shot for the first time in the new art style of Scorponok, Scold, Pterosaur, and Waspinator.
Yeah.
They look fucking slick, man.
Yeah, they look good.
They look fun. They look great.
Yeah.
They're still animated, like their faces move more, but it's art. You can get away with that. It's much more difficult when it's 3D models.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this artist's rendition of the characters. I'm a fan.
Yeah, Scold is I like how thick and like short Scold is. And indeed true to so what's happening here? Scorponok yells at Pterosaur and says that he's a traitor. Pterosaur is like, hey, I'm just saying we should be prepared for regime change. Suck up.
Yeah, because he's basically like, oh, Megatron's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in there.
Yeah, so buckle up, boys. There's going to be a change in leadership. And Scorponok, he's a little different. He's a little more capable in this, and I really dig it. There's a little character development for him here.
Yeah, he seems loyal, but he's less of a henchman.
Much less. And you know what? Thank you, writers, for doing my boy Scorponok good.
Yeah.
Because what does he say here? He's like, hey, morons want to be prepared. We need to do an energy run. Our supplies are way too low, and processing what we have is a super pain, and we can't win any war if we're not fueled up. And the Scorponok and Pterosaur like go chest to chest.
Yeah,
like they're actually confrontational, and they weren't on the show, so I really fucking dig this.
Yeah,
and there's one piece of
dynamics.
dialogue. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I said just new dynamics between the characters.
New dynamics, and there's the piece of dialogue that I really like is Pterosaur is like, "Hey, we also can't win a war if we don't fight it. We should be attacking nonstop." And Scorponok fucking tears him down, and he says, "You think we'd be better off blasting away at a shield we can't penetrate? You'd be a terrible leader." And I'm like,
good point.
Suck my dick, Pterosaur. And he's like, it doesn't matter what we do because the Maximals won't attack. But we need to bide our time, become more powerful, get more energy, because we're fighting for all of Cybertron now. So shut up and get out there, and like we need to go get Energon. And I'm like, Scorponok, telling it like it is. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And Scold wants to come too. Scold's like, me too. Scorponok's a little condescending though.
Well, and Pterosaur was an asshole to her, and Waspinator, like Pterosaur and Waspinator take off, and Waspinator is like, why did you laugh at her? What if she decided to break you in half?
That's the whole point. I'm keeping her in her place.
Yeah.
I don't like that logic, that bully logic.
It makes sense for Pterosaur, though.
For Pterosaur, yeah.
Yeah, like
he's like, she's so strong she could, what does he say? Punch through a wall of solid duranium, which is very durable, as we all know. I mean, so the last thing we want is for her to have any confidence. And I'm like, very different dynamic of the Predacons.
I would assume something named duranium is durable.
Right. My body's 65% duranium.
So we
so
get
what
a
is it? It's like, oh, if she gained confidence, she could decide if that maybe she wants to be in charge. So we can't have that naturally.
we get a glimpse of the floating mountain.
Yeah, we do.
And it's just not acknowledged at
No,
all.
they just kind of accept it as part of this planet.
Yeah. Planet
I'm like,
Energon.
dude, Pterosaur, go get juiced.
Yeah, go juice up and be like, fuck yeah, time to go kick Megatron's ass. Become
Hey,
sexy
Waspinator.
Pterosaur.
Hey, Waspinator, you want some of this? Where's my issue where Waspinator and Pterosaur together get jacked and take over? I want to see that.
There you go. They become the new power couple of the Predacons.
Right. Drinking like Energon shakes and like spotting each other when they're lifting.
Yeah.
I want to. I want it. Again, Pterosaur in his pterodactyl form. I find fucking hilarious. He's like standing on the crystal, like asking Waspinator for help, and I find it amazing. I'm like, they drew a pterodactyl with abs. He's got sweet abs. I don't know why I find that funny. Sorry. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, in space, we get a stasis pod, and I don't know if you remember, but way back in a later episode of season 1 of Beast Wars, the one and only stasis pod that actually lands normally and ironically ends up like housing an insane like rotundo transformer in the case of Inferno, but it's the only stasis pod that actually lands without any problems. And you had mentioned that Tarantulas probably figured out a way to access the stasis pod's computer to just make it come down.
It's vaguely suggestive, that he had somehow taken control of it.
Well, and here with this stasis pod, we get a few shots of like the computer console on the side of the stasis pod, and it says incoming transmission, new code.
Yeah. So this is different. They're not just falling out of the sky. This one is pulled out of orbit on purpose.
Yeah. By our
we can only assume
our favorite psychopath, Tarantulas.
Yeah. We can only assume. And what does it say? It's like error, transmission lost, upload incomplete, descending. And so it's like, oh, she didn't, like it fucked up like Inferno.
So and the stasis pod lands and out emerges Blackarachnia.
In not protoform or anything. She's
I find it weird that there wasn't even like DNA scanners or anything like that.
Yeah, usually there's the that scanner that sweeps for DNA.
Yeah, DNA sequencer.
Yeah. But no, she just comes out Blackarachnia in her gold and black form.
And she doesn't appear to be evil here.
No. In fact, she's like, computer, what planet is this? And she goes back and forth with her with the computer. And the computer lets it says undocumented planet. There's a partial code update received. Do you want to update? And she's like, okay. It'll take 2 cycles. And she's like, well, I'm supposed to be an explorer, so might as well.
No sense sitting around here. Might as well go exploring.
And an alligator attacks her. A big old crocodile. Yeah, because what does the computer say? Too much energon. Switch basically to alt mode as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, big old croc. And I'm like, how come she didn't turn into a croc?
the way you said that. A big old crocodile.
A big old crocodile. He is a big, big old crocodile. He fits her in its whole mouth, and it's kind of like a ancient like dinosaur like croc because it's got like spikes everywhere. It's a little different.
I like to think that this croc being in the comic is a reference to the original Beast Wars Megatron crocodile figure.
You know, I was wondering. I was like, is Christopher going to mention the OG?
Well, I mean, Nyx is based off of because that figure came in a 2-pack, which I actually own. Still a sealed copy of. It came in a 2-pack with the original Optimus Primal, which was a bat, which is what the character in this comic Nyx is based off of.
Yeah, and here's a big old crocodile.
Here's a big old crocodile.
And a big old crocodile tries to fit the lady spider in her mouth. But she's got other plans. Her smacking it with her like claws doesn't do anything, but she's got those arm like spider legs, and it shows off screen because it's like schlick, but presumably those are lethal.
Yeah. And
she crawls out of the water in spider form. But there's like pools of blood in the river behind her. So bye-bye, OG Megatron.
Now he's a dead old crocodile.
He's a dead old crocodile.
I don't know why I find that so funny. Maybe it's just getting late.
Or maybe I'm hilarious.
Or maybe
it's getting late.
Or maybe it's getting late.
What happens here? Oh,
so we cut to the Axelon, and the Maximals are fucking playing poker.
They're playing poker, man.
And Dinobot is like giving them like character bios of the Predacons.
Yeah, Scold's powerful and secure. Pterosaur is a bully with delusional glory he'll never achieve. Waspinator's dumb, but I can never tell if that was an act. And Tarantulas, well, his reputation precedes him. And Rat Trap says the most Rat Trap thing ever. He's like, yeah, I heard Tarantulas is a real backstabber. Eh? What, too soon?
Yeah.
And if we recall, Tarantula snuck up behind Dinobot in one of the previous issues and indeed stabbed him through in the back.
Yeah. Womp womp.
Yep. Yeah, Nyx is like, they're terrorists, dang it. What more do you need to know? Rhinox is like, yeah, but I thought maybe we could come to a resolution without violence. Oh yeah, guys, I have a straight. Do I win?
Well, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I can afford beer money this week.
Yep.
So Blackarachnia is outside the base, and she doesn't seem to have like any memories or knowledge about Maximals or Predacons, because she just kind of strolls up to the shield, and she's like, huh, what's going on here? And her onboard AI is like, standard security, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
And she walks through. She just walks onto the base.
Yep.
She's like, is this abandoned? Nobody's come to greet me.
Yeah, and the updated code is installed. Her onboard computer tells her that the updated code has been installed and integration commencing and update complete. Her eyes go red, and well, now she's a Predacon.
Yeah, after she went through the barrier, conveniently. Yeah.
Conveniently.
And she transforms into a big old gross spider and tells the audience that she needs to creep around and find an open terminal.
Yeah.
And it's funny. In the next panel, Cheetor mentions, hey, did any of you hear that? And in a previous episode of Too Much Energon, Cheetor had really good hearing as well.
Because he's a cat.
because he's a cat. He better hearing than the bat.
Yeah.
And indeed, this was Beast Machines. And in Too Much Energon episode 56, I was like, why would the cat have better hearing than the bat? Because there's a bat on the show too.
That was 55, actually.
Oh, sorry, you're right, 55. And Rhinox even asks Nyx, hey, you've got really good audio receptors. Did you hear anything? And they didn't pick anything up because they hear everything, and it makes it hard to filter out small things.
Yeah,
I feel that happens to me too.
That makes sense.
So-
I have an issue where and this is only developed within the past like 5 years or so, but I have a hard time at like parties and whatnot where multiple people around me are talking. I can't really focus on any one conversation in particular, so I have a really hard time talking in groups.
I can talk in groups, but I hear everyone else talking in the background too. Restaurants are like that for me, and pubs. But how many I can follow varies. But like I can hear everybody talking around me. Like it's a weird. I don't know if it's an ADD thing or a sensory thing, but
for me, like I hear everyone talking around me, but it's to the point that like I can't really comprehend any of it because
so it's
just
like
too
Nyx.
much. Yeah. And that's only something that I've developed within the past like 5 years or so.
Oh, weird. Well, at least we have Cheetor.
Well, it was after a certain period in my life where I was on a lot of various different medications. Yes. So Cheetor does the smart thing and decides he's gonna go check this out because he's like, yeah, I heard someone. He's gonna go check this out on his own. And Blackarachnia descends from the rafters like Sting with a baseball bat.
Yep. How many? We can fit that in any episode of anything we're doing.
The episode of anything we're doing. Like anytime someone comes down from like up above, like to me, it's just Sting descending from the rafters with a baseball bat.
It might as well be because she karate kicks him in the head, and instead of fighting back, he's like, "Hey there. See, you're a little confused, buddy. You know we don't have to fight." As she's like kicking his ass.
Yeah.
He's like, "Okay, I get it. You're on a scary planet and your memory's wiped. You're a maximal explorer, you know. You're probably programming was garbled or something. Don't worry, I'll get you some help. But first, I'm going to be a kitty." And there's like an angry cat panel.
Yeah.
I really like that panel.
So do I.
He looks like a kitten, like snarling. He doesn't look scary.
Yeah.
"I'm going to get you, meow." And she's like, "Huh, predictable." And like cyber venom shoots him.
Yeah. And
before she stomps him in the balls, he like radios Optimus.
Cheetor, you were cut off. Say again. Cheetor.
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 Knew you were
Dun, dun, dun. And yeah, that was issue 7.
I like the parallel because Blackarachnia and Cheetor have a back and forth in Beast Wars where she kind of steps on him, and she's doing that again here. So big old thumbs up for me. But I'm a fan of Blackarachnia stepping on Cheetor. What can I say?
So here on Too Much Galavar, we rate issues of the comic according to the Too Much Energon scale, just like we do on the main show, which ranges for, if you're listening to this, you've probably heard it a million times before at this point, but Too Much Energon scale ranges from not enough Energon to a sufficient amount of Energon to too much Energon. It's basically bad, okay, good.
Yeah.
Cal, what are you gonna rate issue 7 of Beast Wars?
There's no wasted pages. Everything's to the point, even when it's just dialogue.
Yeah.
Gets a pretty hefty, too much energon for me.
Yeah,
I dig it.
I'm with you there. I really like the art. I'm glad that the art changed, and I dig this artist style. I like his renditions of the characters. Like you said, there's no wasted moments in this story. This is a very tightly written issue.
Yeah.
I feel like the what's his name, Eric Burnham, friend of the show, Eric Burnham.
Eric Burnham.
I feel like his writing's improving with each issue.
How many he wrote issue 1 through?
He's written all of them.
Oh, he's written all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
It's sad that the only public Too Much Galavar are the ones where we're kind of shitting on it a little.
Yeah.
But that's what we do here. We talk shit about Beast Wars and nothing else.
And talk more shit about Beast Wars.
No, we both. So it sounds like you enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Too much energy.
And we're back in 2023, baby.
That's right. We did it.
Yep. I don't know if I stand by any assertion that I made during that recording, but
I know. I can't believe how hot my takes were.
Yep. I can't believe that, like,
Can you believe that you said that? That thing we definitely remember talking about.
And that good/bad sports game of local sports team winning/losing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a little thrown off our game because of that sports ball /disc having to win/lose.
Oh. Anyway, that was episode 115 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lasercomb. LEZORCOMB. We're at the single $5 Gary tier. You get our weekly Patreon exclusive show, the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show.
The Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show.
You get that. I rant about a bunch of stuff as always, and you get to pick a show for us to review a random episode of on our other podcast, the Lasercomb podcast, and you get commentary tracks, which, as I mentioned, we just did one for 2001's The One in 2001.
You ever watch The Matrix and wish there was more of it, but with more Jet Lis?
That's the movie for you.
That's the movie for you.
So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. Follow me on Twitter at lasercomb, spelled the same way, or you can follow the show proper at Too Much Energon. Cal, you are at?
And I am at NeoCal, NEO_KAL.
We'll be back next week with episode 116 of Too Much Energon, where we're going to be talking about issue 8 of the Beast Wars comic book. And until then, I've been The Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoCal, your other host.
Thanks for listening. We will
transform and roar out.
We will be nobody's bitch. Until
I
next
am
time.
NeoCal. I am nobody's bitch. Stay beastly.
Bye-bye.